Alright, so on this last problem that we did, we solved this problem by completing the square, and you're like, oh my goodness, Mr. Ring, is there another way? There is. You can use the quadratic formula. So let's go ahead and solve this one by the quadratic formula. Same problem. Let's solve that same problem, and you'll see we'll get the same answer. The first thing we need to do is identify the A, B, and C. Well, how do you get A, B's, and C's? You have to get it from the standard form. Class, what is your A value? B value? And C value? 1. They are always numbers. They are never x's in here or x squared. Never. Second thing, write down the quadratic formula every single time. Write down the formula every single time. Manal, give us the quadratic formula.
Negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a.
And don't forget that the quadratic formula helps us solve for the variable x. So bright. Thank you, Manal. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a substitution. Everyone say sub. Every A value we're going to be putting in 4. Every B value, don't highlight that negative, we're going to be putting in negative 10. Oops, right on the bottom there. And every C value we're going to be putting in 1. So I have x, equals, pay attention, the negative sign, substitution in parentheses, what value? Negative 10 plus or minus square root. Our B value? Negative 10 squared minus 4. E value? C value? All over 2 times 4. Make sure it's in standard form to find your A, B, and C's. Set equals 0. Write down the quadratic formula. Substitute. And the longest part, everyone say simplify. We're now going to simplify here. Class, the opposite of negative 10? Positive 10. Class, negative 10 squared? Okay. This is the first common mistake for students using quadratic formula. Use your hand or your fingers. Do it. Cover up everything else except for that negative 4 onto the right side. Because this is multiplication, negative 4 times A times C, this is negative 4 times 4, which is what? Negative 16 times 1 is what? Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, just write down what you said. Negative 16. So I'm using my finger, cover it up, and you can kind of see the rest. And then 2 times 4 is 8. 10 plus or minus 100 minus 16 is 84 over 18. Not 18. 8. I know some of you are trying to run to the calculator. I know you'll want to try to say square root 84, but we want exact answers. Square root of 84 is I don't know. I see that they're both multiples of 4, so let's try 4s. 4 goes into 8 how many times? 4 goes in 8 twice, and then 4 goes in 4 once. So 4 times 21, and that's 7 and 3. Do they have any common numbers there? Let's try something else. Would 7 work? It would go in how many times? So you would get 7 times 12, but that work. This one also works, right? 4 times 7 times 3. Class, what does this become? 2 radical 21. So I have 10 plus or minus 2 radical 21 over 8. Here is the second mistake students make on using quadratic formula. It's the simplifying this last part. So I'm going to factor out a 2. Why am I factoring out a 2? Because these are all multiple 2s, or evens. So 2 times 5 plus or minus radical 21 over 2 times 4. Okay, let's check our answer. Class, 2 times 5? 10. 2 times radical 21. 2 radical 21. Okay? And then 8 is 2 times 4. Why did I do that? So I can cancel out my 2's. X equals 5 plus or minus radical 21 over 4. Oh my goodness. Is that the same answer we got from completing the square? Magic. It's not magic, it's math. Alright, so I have a question. Raise your hand if you thought the quadratic formula was easier to work with. Okay? Raise your hand if completing the square was easier. It doesn't matter. You should be able to fry the potato, boil the potato. You should be able to complete the square or use quadratic formula to solve your problem.